guys. Hello.
Hello.
Something horrible has happened to me.
What is it, Trey?
Something terrible. Something really bad. I've become deaf.
Oh no.
I've become deaf in this audio medium. Yep, it's a real tragedy. I'm deaf now, and the only solace I have is that when the inevitable sound-based apocalypse happens, I will be the only one to make it.
Yeah. So what you're telling me is that movie Whole Hog ripped off Bird Box.
Yes, and The Quiet Place. Quiet Place.
That too. I didn't see Quiet Place.
The same premise. The only difference is these ones fly. I'm talking about The Silence, by the way. It's on Netflix. Just came out.
Yep.
But yeah, how besides my horrible deafness, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. Been running around as a spiky-haired protagonist in an anime, so you know.
Oh.
Getting finally onto that Kingdom Hearts train.
So how sick are you of friendship?
Well, I mean, the game already has me convinced that friendship is evil. Because, you know, that's what obviously it is. I mean, Sora got new friends, and then Riku's like, oh, he has friends now. So he is now my nemesis. And
as we know, Riku was a great friend. You could tell on Destiny Island. Very good friend.
Uh-huh. Best friend.
He saw him eyeing Kairi, and he was like, dog, I'm gonna steal that bitch.
Yup.
You see those size 15 feet, though? I'm gonna get all over those.
Catch those size 15s.
I mean, that's like everybody in that game, I think.
Those Jordans?
That's like that, yeah, their character design, man... I don't know much about Kingdom Hearts. I've only played one Kingdom Hearts game.
Which one?
You're not gonna like the answer.
It's Chain of Memories, isn't it?
It's Chain of Memories on the Game Boy Advance. That's the only Kingdom Hearts game I've played all the way through. Well, okay, I didn't have a PlayStation growing up. Let me defend myself. So don't worry, I've already had the most disappointing Kingdom Hearts experience anyone can have.
I don't know, there's a mobile game.
True. But does the mobile game make you collect cards?
I don't know. I've never played it.
I mean, same.
I mean, I haven't even played Chain of Memories, so I have it. I haven't played it.
No, when you say you're getting into Kingdom Hearts, do you mean you're getting in at ground floor of Kingdom Hearts 1, Tyler? Or
yes.
did you do the nosedive into 3? Okay, Kingdom Hearts 1, yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 1.
Because I saw...
I have the Story So Far package, which has Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories, that whatever something over something else, that one with the X...
6 over 2 days or some shit.
Yeah, that one with the X in it. It has 2, it has Dream Drop Distance, it has... there's another one. It has the 2.8. It's got everything.
A fragmentary passage. Yeah. I would have. You know what though? It would have been hilarious if you just picked up 3 and just started playing 3. I would have loved to hear your reactions because that game would make no goddamn sense.
I mean, the first one makes no goddamn sense.
Yes, but imagine that. But there's 10 more games. And they reference all of them constantly.
Yeah, I've heard they completely break continuity as well. There's just a lot of things they ignore or
they there's a bunch of shit. Riku breaks his Keyblade at one point, and then he just goes and buys a new one, and I just thought that was hilarious.
You can just buy them.
Yeah, I thought they were super important, but apparently they cost $2 at Walmart.
I thought they were a representation of your soul or something like that.
No,
isn't that it?
That's the impression they've given me. So
far. It's something like that. It's at least presumably until you find literal fields of them just laying around.
Oh,
well, because wasn't that there? So again, from a completely, I don't know anything about Kingdom Hearts. I guess spoilers for a decade-old series too. But wasn't there a Keyblade War?
There was a Keyblade War
that Mickey Mouse was in.
He was not in that Keyblade War. He was an apprentice at the time.
So. Okay.
Oh, so
he is just
when the Magician's Apprentice thing was happening.
Yeah, it's actually Yen Sid is his master. So actually, yes,
good.
That's literally that's their entire idea. Yen Sid, who is the wizard from Magician's Apprentice, is teaching him because of because of Fantasia. Yep.
Huh. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is weird.
Oh, believe me, I'm a scholar. I have done 800 deep dives. I know everything there is to know.
Yeah, well, because Trey, you've played Kingdom Hearts for like when you were younger too,
yeah,
right?
I played 2. I played 1 eventually. I didn't like it nearly as much because 2 is combat's way better. I've played all of them except for like a few of the handheld games.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is nice. We got the whole spectrum of Kingdom Hearts knowledge of, it knows what's going on, has just started what's going on. And I played the game on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, we got all the experience levels.
Yeah, we
here.
got all our bases covered.
No, you can see how well adjusted I am. That's what that game does to you eventually. So have fun, Tyler.
I will say, Donald Duck's voice is so annoying. It's like one of my least favorite parts of the game.
It's okay. He's dead like 90% of the time.
Second,
so like you don't.
Second worst. Oh, good. Second worst. Only to like the platforming.
Yeah, some saucy platforming.
I suppose there's also the gummy ship stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? I guess about half of that game actually. The
gummy stuff is especially egregious because you have to do it every single fucking time you want to go to a new world.
Goodness! Like, I'm so glad I unlocked warp, which I'm not sure if that was in the original, but it definitely is.
I don't think it was.
Well, I'm playing Final Mix.
I distinctly remember having to go through. But I was also a young babby, so maybe I just missed it.
You could have just chosen to, because you can also just choose to fly everywhere if you really want.
Maybe I just missed the ability to warp, but like I distinctly remember having to traverse the fucking gummy space every single fucking time.
That'd be
I sure like doing the same level again and again. This is great.
Yeah.
Good game.
Oh, I was just gonna say my favorite part about the gummy ship is when you give up and you just make a wall of blocks and you put a gun on every single block.
Yes.
You just completely give up. Like it's the most hideous thing ever, but it shoots a lot of bullets and missiles and it gets you to from point A to point B.
Make game go faster.
Honestly, I would totally do that if the like shipbuilding UI was at all manageable. Like
See, that's the nice thing about making a wall is that it's pretty easy even in that.
But anyway, my favorite thing
like
so far about the game though is reminding me that Gilbert Gottfried's voice exists.
Yes.
So
yeah, jeez. Oh my gosh. I was gonna say, I guess my question then, Tyler, like as somebody who's never played Kingdom Hearts, is it worth it to go back to the series?
I don't know if I can tell you until I get farther.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, I almost want to have you play 1 and 2 and then just see like, oh, hey, Tyler, would you be fine waiting, 15 years for a sequel? Or the sequel?
Yeah, maybe not, but we'll find out.
Yeah. Well, 2's combat's actually really good.
Honestly, though, I feel like this is giving me the same impression that, like, honestly, Mass Effect 1 gave me, which I really like. Mass Effect 1 is one of those games that I probably would not have played Mass Effect 2 if I did not get Mass Effect 2 for free.
Mm-hmm. Because it kind of I understand that.
Yeah, and I got Mass Effect 2 for free because I bought Dragon Age 2, which was also a weird game. But yeah, it's one of those things that like I was not impressed by the first Mass Effect game. There were aspects I liked of it, but there were so many just painful parts of that game that.
But Ashley.
Yeah.
But the Mako,
no, I kind of.
I hate the frickin' Mako.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that just every Mako planet was the same. I mean, not to go too far off topic, but basically, like, I get that thing where it's like, you have these like classic games that I don't think they age well at all.
No. I mean, it comes from a time before people understood what controls were. So
yeah.
Like, we just didn't have our brains as a species just hadn't developed at that point. So I mean, you have to give us some slack.
Even in the last 5 years, games have come so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
goodness.
Well,
story.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Kingdom Hearts 2 holds up better. I haven't played any of them, so I can't judge.
Kingdom Hearts 2 fairly recently. That game's still pretty fun. That game is fun.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to getting to that one.
It has the same problem that like literally every Kingdom Hearts has, where like 70% of the game is just filler. Like, most of the Disney worlds is just filler. Like, it has no bearing on the story whatsoever in all the games, except for, like, 10 minutes at the very end, where, like, the organization just pops up and is like, yes, the hearts of darkness, Kingdom Hearts, and they just teleport out, and that's basically
Yeah.
every Disney World and every single Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah, show up, be evil.
Seems like it.
Yeah, it's the same. It's just replace the organization with like Maleficent and Pete for like the for the first game, where they just show up and they're like, "We're evil. Goodbye. Hope you didn't forget about us."
Yeah, I'll never forgive Kingdom Hearts 3 for no other reason than they wasted a great like villain of the Shadow Man from Princess and the Frog, who would have been a perfect like Heartless or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just didn't use them.
Yeah, that
because we got to get that big
would've
Hero
been,
6.
That would have been pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wanted out of it. But I guess we got Toy Story.
We did. And
I just want Pooh to be in my party.
Did you hear they censored Winnie the Pooh in Kingdom Hearts 3 in China?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just blurred out. He's just like a light ball.
Why?
Yeah, there's a whole thing. There's a whole thing. The Chinese president, apparently, there's like an insult or
Xi Jinping, for whatever reason, he gets compared to Winnie the Pooh a lot, and he fucking hates that. He hates it. So like, Winnie the Pooh is banned in China, and like if you mention Winnie the Pooh, I'm not even kidding. Like, if you mention Winnie the Pooh in like a video describing him, even if it's in a different context, he will get a bunch of trolls to go like review bomb the shit out of you.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, well, and it's why he got.
I mean, also terrible, but.
Geez, what's that new? It's a survival horror game.
Yeah, Devotion.
It starts with a D. Devotion 2. Yeah, he got Devotion. China got Devotion 2 pulled from Steam because apparently the programmers put in a reference.
Yeah,
that. They're not Chinese.
They're Taiwanese, I think.
Yeah, they're Taiwanese.
Yeah,
I think Taiwanese.
So
there's some bad blood there to start.
Yeah, there was a placeholder asset that had Xi Jinping is like fat and lazy or something on it.
Mm-hmm. It was just a meme comparing him to Winnie the Pooh, basically.
And they had so much pressure, they actually had to take the game down.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they put it back up, but they patched it out or something.
Yeah. Huh.
But, yeah, no, that's crazy. So, you can't get your full Kingdom Hearts 3 experience, then, of the filler level with Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, you can't get your lovely Winnie the Pooh minigames that are really fun and good. And also...
I mean, in the first game, it seems mainly you just jump in a storybook and just listen to people talk. And
that doesn't change much.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hey, you push him on a swing.
Yeah.
I know that much.
There's in 2, the book gets stolen and you have to go find all the pages, and that's cool. That's the thing.
Hey, spoilers, man.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to. Oh my god.
Who knows? Maybe I'll play all the Kingdom Hearts games. I won't.
You'll miss the twist ending where Winnie the Pooh kills Donald right in front of you.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. But so Dan, what have you been up to this week?
Well, what have I been up to this week? Not a ton, honestly. I've been busy with work, so I haven't been watching too much new. I watched some more You vs. Wild. Mm-hmm. Turns out you cannot kill Bear Grylls.
Fuck. All right, garbage.
Yeah, you can critically fail a mission, but you can't kill him.
Well,
so what's even the point?
So you can actually
what is even the point?
Have a restart thing.
Yeah, the one I got was delivering medicine, and you can just make a decision where you don't get the medicine to them in time, or you break his leg or something.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Maybe just interactive Netflix isn't for me.
Yeah,
but
that's true. I wonder you didn't like the Bandersnatch, but a lot of people like the Bandersnatch.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder.
Well, I didn't like Bandersnatch because of the plot, but
okay.
Yeah, I wonder if part of it's just being so used to video games and even more interactivity that this just feels. I don't know what
effect it almost. Yeah, no, I get you. You know what effect it almost kind of has, because they really bring it home in this too, where Bear Grylls. It has the effect where Bear Grylls will every time you have to make a decision, he stops and just looks at the camera and is like, "What do I do? Should I go over here or should I use the machete to bushwhack? You decide."
Oh, so it really takes you out of it because he's narrating specifically to you.
Yeah, well, and I think the other big thing is and it was a thing in Bandersnatch too, where whenever you have to make the choice, it pauses until not only until after you make the choice, but it has a 30-second pause where you have to pick,
Mm.
and then they'll be like talking over it while you're picking. So I don't know. It feels.
Would you rather they have like a time limit, like Telltale games or something?
No, they do have a time limit too. That's the thing. But like, it should be able to. You know, in a Telltale game where like you can pick the conversation option and then it'll skip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you won't just sit there for 30 seconds hearing hearing Bear Grylls go like, "Oh man."
I feel like that's literally a thing in every choose your own like TV thing. It might just be the way that it's cut. Like if they just don't have a choice, but that make you sit and wait through the whole thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
they
Like
definitely have a choice, but especially with Netflix where they're programming it all themselves.
I don't fucking know, dude. I didn't make Netflix. I just know that every single like choose your own TV thing I've done, mind you, these are all like DVD extras, so like probably afterthoughts for most of these. But like every single one is like you pick a decision, then you have to wait for the timer to go down anyway, and then they'll like continue. So I wasn't sure if that was just like a thing in like video.
Yeah.
It might be. I mean, I don't know. I would almost be more fine if it was just like a still where like you decide and then he just like stops for a while and it's just like, oh, okay. And like if I pick the decision right away, it can just keep going. I don't know. It's like a nitpick. Again, the show is super low effort. It kind of feels like something they made as an afterthought.
It probably was.
Mm-hmm.
That seems incredibly true. Like they're just like, oh man, Bandersnatch was popular. Who else is popular? Let's get that hobo in the back of the building drinking his own urine.
Yeah, let's get the drink my own piss guy. Is he doing anything? We know he's not doing anything. But yeah, no. So that was, like I said, I haven't watched too much, and that didn't leave too much of an impression. I did get around to beating a game I've been working on though.
Ooh, Rabbids.
Yeah, I beat Rabbids. It was fine. It's good. I'd recommend the game still. I might play through some of the Donkey Kong stuff. The final boss is so it's not as like hard as I think I made it sound, but like it does some really cheap things, but like that's any XCOM style game where especially when the final boss does this thing where, you know, you have to beat it 3 times because it's a Mario thing. You have to get it to 0 hit points 3 times. But it'll just do like a form change and get a different attacks, except for it doesn't give you a turn where it like telegraphs what it's going to do. So you can just like get your party wiped.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
so it's literally the thing where like the way you have to beat it and not just lose is to lose and then know it's going to do that ahead of time.
Okay. So it's one of those like it's one of those like unless you read up on it, you basically have to try multiple times sort of fights.
Yeah, it's that, or again, you just have to lose. And for me, that's like, and again, you know, Trey, for example, and Tyler, I'm sure you might have heard me talk about it before too, but that was my biggest problem with the last level of XCOM 2 is it's just like, all right, how am I supposed to know that an enemy is going to break through a before seen unbreakable wall? Like that does not lead to anywhere off the stage. They're just going to break through that wall and on their turn, they get to attack. Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, there's no way I could have like known and or prepared for that. So I don't know. It feels hackneyed or not hackneyed. It feels cheap, like a quick cheap shot of just like, oh man, this game sure was hard. We got you, and it's like, no, that wasn't hard.
Like an artificial difficulty spike sort of thing. Like
yeah.
They just wanted to get you. They just wanted to get you to the game over screen. So you just kind of like, oh, this is definitely hard. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Very difficult.
I can say it was probably the Dark Souls of the Rabbids series.
Oh, here we go.
It was.
Dark Souls, yep.
Of all the games in the Rabbids series, okay, Rayman, Raving Rabbids, I'm sure others.
Yes, and more. But yeah, this is definitely the Dark Souls of
this is the Dark Souls of it.
Strategy games.
Yeah, Dark Souls of the Rabbids series.
Yeah, Rabbids, Mario.
Yeah, of the Rabbids strategy games, this is the Dark Souls of it.
Definitely. That is
now,
a true
if you'll excuse
statement.
me, I'm going to snap my own neck.
Yep, I'm going to go, where's the bleach? Daddy's coming home.
Oh, no.
But yeah. No, overall, I'd say it's still a fun game. If you can pick it up for, like I said, I picked up the whole thing for $20 with all the DLC and everything. It's fun.
Yeah. Like, is it, so it's worth about $20, you think?
Yeah, because I still have the whole Donkey Kong story mode to play through, which is another, couple of hours. And it's got a bunch of like challenges too, if you really want to grind those out. I'm probably not, because yeah.
I've done, I think, most of the challenges so far. If what you mean is like the levels that open up when you finish the world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like the bonus challenge stages, and it's stuff like, oh, defeat all the enemies in one turn.
Mm-hmm.
Keep escorting Toad, because everybody loves an escort
Oh,
mission.
goodness. Yeah, those ones are...
Awful. The worst.
Yep.
Sure do love me an escort mission. That's why I played Resident Evil 4.
Yeah,
I just
just
love
one
it.
long escort mission.
I just love escort missions that much.
That is what everybody's favorite part of Resident Evil 4 is.
Yeah. Ashley. Talked a lot of Ashleys in the podcast today. It's weird. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Speaking of names, Trey, you were telling us about a little movie you watched earlier. How'd that go?
Yeah, okay, so I've watched... Okay, so full disclosure, I've played, like, nothing but Final Fantasy game-wise this week, so that's, like, just toss that out the window. Games are not a thing. Games are over. But I have been... Instead, I felt like my time would have been better spent watching a bunch of really shitty horror movies, so I've done that. That's been my week, alright?
Mm-hmm.
I hear you judging, Tyler. I hear you judging me over there. You stop that, alright?
Oh, I always
You stop
judge.
it right now. So, as I alluded to in the intro, I watched The Silence, which is a new Netflix horror movie, which is very confusing to me because they already made Bird Box, and that was my whole thought. The entire movie was, why the fuck is this exist when Bird Box exists? Like, they already got a higher budget movie that has a very similar premise. And also, this is just ripping off another movie with the identical premise. Just this time the monsters fly, I guess.
Yeah. Well, wasn't it... I don't know if it's spoilers or not. I never watched A Quiet Place. Wasn't it Aliens?
They never confirmed that. They never confirmed what they were. There was like the main character, the what's his face from The Office. The main character, he had like a board in that where it like showed. He had like one of those like crazy like thumbtack boards.
Yeah, the Always Sunny board.
Like aliens, government experiment, apex predators. Like that was basically what they never found that out. Also for full disclosure, I also didn't love A Quiet Place either, so which is completely counter to most people. I was like surprised. I actually lost some respect for some reviewers I used to like because they loved A Quiet Place so much, and I just thought that movie was like the most Seven a movie I've ever seen.
I think it was like a thing when that movie was coming out. Everybody was like, "Oh boy, John Krasinski can do serious movies," and it was a passion project. So I think people tend to
I respect that. I thought it was okay. I just the premise was cool. I thought like once you think about it for more than 2 seconds, the whole thing falls apart. Which coincidentally is exactly what happens in The Silence, because this is like the most like, oh, I guess that happened movie I've ever seen. It's just like coincidence after coincidence that just sort of lays the characters like to a house. I'm gonna spoil it or spoil parts because like I don't think people should watch this. I think you should stay away. It's not worth your time. But I think it's funny because there's some scenes that are just ridiculous. So the premise of this, like the main premise of the movie, is that basically some like cave splunkers or something. They were like looking through a cave. They break through a wall, and all of a sudden these bat creatures come out that hear with sound. Like they see with
by sound.
Yeah, they hear by sound. They hear by sound. Nobody's ever done this. What
horror.
they have like super bat vision. They can see with sound. And they also swarm and just like tear people to shreds. That is one thing they do pretty well in the movie, is that they show the gore. Like you can like when they start swarming, you can just see people getting ripped to shreds, which is kind of cool. But like
that's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of cool in like the sense where it's like, oh, they actually showed that, like this is trying to make them more intimidating. It would help better if the CG wasn't like fucking terrible. So like they don't look very good. They don't look very good.
It's like tearing apart a balloon stuffed with orange marmalade.
Yeah, like then the monsters are really badly animated. But so here's this scene I think was hilarious in the movie. It just made me laugh so hard when I watched it. So the monsters have shown up. People know about them. The government had made like a big old message being like, stay in your homes, don't make noise. So the family immediately leaves their house. Of
course.
And they stumble upon a farm. The farm has bells on the outskirts, presumably to distract the monsters when they like start like getting nearby. So they try to open the door. A bell rings. One of the monsters shows up and just starts like hitting the bell. So this old lady comes out of the house with a shotgun, and then she just starts yelling at the top of her lungs, "Get off my lawn!" Like, get out, leave. And then the whole family is just shushing her, being like, "No, don't talk." And she's like, "I will shoot you. Get off my lawn." This is... she dies. She just fucking dies. And it's the most contrived shit ever, because she knew the bells wouldn't have been there if she didn't know. She was the only person who lived in that house. What was she thinking?
Yeah, I'll be honest, Trey, from the sounds of this movie, I think I like this movie better when it was called Bird Box.
Yeah,
and I think I like that movie better when it was called The Happening by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I
didn't even like The Happening.
Oh, I fucking hated The Happening.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. God, bad horror movies, I can barely stand horror movies. Like, I don't know the last time I watched a horror movie and liked it. Because I'm not like scared of horror movies. Okay, let me rephrase. I get scared, yes, but I don't not like horror. I don't like horror movies. Let me leave it at that. But I don't not like them because I'm like, I don't like being scared. It's just most of the time, yeah, it's like you said, like the plots of them are dependent on everybody being an idiot.
Yeah, like that. I mean, this is what I always say is that I love horror movies. I think it's one of my favorite genres. Like most horror movies are super dumb. Like because all the characters, like, yeah, every single bad thing that happens is just dependent on the characters making asinine decisions. Like decisions no person would make. Yeah.
Like, Tyler, right? The first thing you would do if there was giant sound monsters is go screaming, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, you'd brandish a gun, and this happens like 3 or 4 times throughout the movie. Like, somebody runs out with a gun after we've already established what the monsters are. There's someone just runs out with a gun and just starts shooting in the air and then dies. Like, that's like, it's people know what the monsters are. Like, the news said it. The only reason they're being marauders right now is because of the monsters and like martial law or whatever, or like like just a complete and utter like chaos. But let's just shoot our guns anyway and die.
Hey.
Also, here's a fundamental flaw I feel like in both this and A Quiet Place. Though A Quiet Place at least has like some excuse. So because because they had to rip it off. One of the main characters in both movies is deaf, and so in Bird Box, if you're blind, right, the monsters can't kill you because then you need to see, like, to be able to, like, for them to like do their whatever on you, right?
Which is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Yep.
But so that makes sense. That, like, you think, like, at least on a surface level, that makes sense. But if you're deaf in a sound apocalypse, why does that make you somehow super good at stealth? I don't get it. Like, can somebody answer that question?
No, if you're deaf, you can't hear yourself when you do things.
Right? Yep. No, it's just...
It would make sense if they were mute. Like,
yeah, if they were mute, that would make sense. But no, in both movies, there is a prominent character who basically the plot revolves around who is deaf. And it's just so confusing to me. Like, it makes so little sense. At least in A Quiet Place, she had like a hearing aid, like one of those ones, like those skull implants.
Yeah, cochlear implant.
Yeah, cochlear implant. She at least had one of those, so like that ended up being a key plot point later on. But
I bet there was a scene where it fell out of her ear.
Yep. There was like 2 or 3. Yep. It like, it just makes so little sense. It just makes so little sense what exactly people are thinking. Like, oh, these guys would be good in that survival scenario, I think.
Horror movies.
I mean,
it just makes so little. It's just why.
I mean, Daredevil, right?
Yeah, but he's got like bat vision too. Like,
yeah, he also had acid face.
Yeah, he had acid face.
Are you telling me that all deaf people don't have like a bat vision?
No, I wouldn't generalize like that, Tyler. That's okay. Really rude.
I'm pretty sure I saw a video on like a TLC series of a blind person who actually used echolocation, and to this day, I don't know if they were fucking with me. Still.
I have no. I think I saw that same one. Is that the one where he's riding a bike around a bunch of like poles or some shit?
Maybe. I remember him walking through his house and just like clicking his tongue.
Yeah, he clicks his tongue a lot. I mean, it seems to work for him. but I don't.
Maybe.
Yeah, I have no idea if they're just like overplaying it or something.
Yeah, I mean, I could see to a certain extent, especially if you have like a particularly echoey house, but I mean, at that point, you probably know your way around your own house if that's like
Yeah, like
where he was.
Well, like I remember in the one I watched, they put him through like a maze they made, and like he did pretty well. So like, who the fuck knows? I actually have no clue.
Side note, isn't that pretty fucked up? Hey, you're blind. Dance for me.
Hey, he volunteered. I mean, he was okay. He seemed cool with it.
Yeah. He's just used to it by now. You
wanted to show off all of his super cool echolocation tricks.
Yeah. But anyway, so Trey, from the sounds of it, not a glowing review.
Not a glowing review. Not a glowing review. It was better than the other movie I saw this week.
Which was?
Oh, the Bye Bye Man.
That's not real.
It's real. It's a real thing. It's real. It's so bad. It's so fucking bad. We watched it on, I think it was last Saturday, and we just couldn't fucking stop laughing because the name is stupid. Like from the get-go, holy shit, the Bye Bye Man. That's what we come up with. That's our super cool horror movie. And his whole shtick is if you say his name or you think about his name, he will come and kill you.
Yep.
Which is not the worst premise in the world if his name wasn't the Bye Bye Man.
Yup.
Yeah.
Like, if that wasn't his name, then I think it would have been like an okay premise. Like, if the Babadook worked like that, I think that would be not a terrible.
Yeah.
Like, that would
terrible.
That wouldn't have been like the worst thing ever. But okay, so this movie is, I mean, it's obviously bad. It's just shot horribly the whole time. Like, just so bad. All the actors, I think, this is like their first job or something. Like, the main actress is British, but she's trying to play an American, and she does a really bad job of it. Like, she slips into her accent all the time, like, without noticing. The Bye Bye Man looks like a homeless person.
Good.
Yeah, so he's like a bald guy with like a scarred up face and a trench coat, and he has like a fucking like tumor dog that follows him around. And that's apparently scary. Like that's the most frightening thing of all time. And like they have so much stupid like jump scares like that make no fucking sense. Like for instance, do you have a coat rack in your room? Does anybody in the whole world have a coat rack in their room? Like, is that a thing?
I've got like a hang rod in my closet.
No, coat rack, like for coats. Like like when you first come into a house, you put coats on pegs. Does anybody have that in their room where they sleep?
No,
I don't, because that doesn't make sense, right? Well, one of the running spooks in this movie is that they have a big old trench coat on a coat rack in their room, and like at night, the main characters will wake up, and the Bye Bye Man will just be standing where the trench coat's hanging, and they turn the lights on, and it's a coat.
Okay, maybe the Bye Bye Man put the coat in there.
Did he also nail a coat rack to their wall?
I don't know.
Did he buy a giant coat that none of the characters ever comment on and just put it in their house?
Look, that's part of his powers, you know? It's not explained explicitly in the movie, but it's
it's not explained explicitly in the movie, mostly because they didn't think that far.
Story checks out.
Yeah, story checks out. There's the three main casts are beautiful in the sense that like when you first meet them, they spend the first 10 minutes exposing at you, like just exposition salad just all over the place. Like it's like the first thing he says is like, "Man, my parents died, but you took care of me ever since I was a kid. Somebody gets between you and me, I take him out." And like 5 minutes later, he starts like just trying to sleep with his girlfriend, and it's like, man, I can really tell you guys have been friends forever.
Yup.
Oh boy.
I mean, yeah, that's like fucking geez, I can't remember. It was one of the ones in Mystery Science Theater Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Atlantic Rim.
Yeah, Atlantic Rim, yep.
Yeah. No, that's fucking like, oh man, What do you mean? You just kissed my girlfriend? That's totally cool, bro. You know how many of my friends' girlfriends I've kissed? I was like, what? No. That's not a genuine human interaction.
Yeah,
I've had friends for years.
Said that. Who would decide to room with a person who actively makes advances on your girlfriend just all the time in front of you?
Well, obviously, they just based like every character trait off of like the worst stereotypes from Friends. It's like, that's such a Joey move.
Yeah, that's
if Joey was a literal sex offender.
Yeah, like if he was. I mean, it's like she's into it. And that's even more confusing.
That's somehow worse. Yeah, I dislike that more.
That's very confusing. It's really, really dumb. But I enjoyed it in the sense that like we kept making sexual innuendos a bunch because everyone kept saying that the Bye-Bye Man wants to be inside you. Like that is said it like more than 4 or 5 times. It's like he's coming, he's gonna be inside you, and I'm like, you can't. They had to know. They had to know. Should I tell them?
They had to.
So what you're saying is watch with a group of friends.
Yeah, get slammered and watch it, and it's a pretty good time. But if you're watching it for the spooks, like I'm pretty sure they use a stock image at one point to do like a jump scare.
Yeah.
So okay, that's the level of spookage we're looking at right now. Like that's the level of competence we got from that movie. But
good.
Yeah, that's been my week. Yep. So that's what I've been spending my free time doing.
Sounds great.
Really bad. I also watched the first episode of Black Summer, but I'm not going to talk about it because that movie that was pretty.
That's not the zombie one.
That's
the
new
it's the
zombie
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Korean zombie one.
It's not Korean.
It's not.
No, there's a Korean character.
Okay, I thought Netflix told me it was Korean.
Maybe
I'm crazy.
There's a Korean character who speaks Korean, but it's set in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, it's a prequel to Z Nation. I saw it in a review. Somebody was saying it was a prequel.
Really?
Yeah, someone was saying it was a prequel to Z Nation, but I don't fucking know.
Huh. Was Z Nation that like comedy-ish?
No, I don't think.
Or am I thinking of a different one, like maybe World War Z or something like that? I don't know.
No, World War Z was Tom Cruise, wasn't it?
Is it?
Brad Pitt, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Brad
okay.
Pitt. Yeah, one of them.
Jeez, there's so many freaking zombies.
Yeah, no. Well, here's the thing. A friend made me watch the first episode because he thought I would like it. I hate zombie things. I think zombies are like the fucking hokiest monster. Like, yeah. I don't know what y'all's opinion on zombies are, but nothing about zombies is spooky to me. I just don't see it. I don't there's like some block in my head where like living corpses just does not freak me out, or like is not an interesting concept. That's why I didn't like The Walking Dead very much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, God, I never got into The Walking Dead. I thought that was like some of the most overhyped.
Yeah, there were some good episodes in The Walking Dead, but like I watched like a few seasons, and it's just here's the thing that happens in every single piece of zombie media, and this like just pisses me off, is that the first like half of the season is them getting away from zombies and like zombies being a real threat, and then for the rest of the series, zombies are just sort of like a MacGuffin that they just kind of show up every once in a while whenever the plot needs them to. Other than that, the characters zombies might as well not exist in zombie media after like the first like few encounters with them.
Yeah. I don't know. I play necromancers in like every video game that gives me the option to, so I'm just like, oh, friends.
Yeah, well, that might just be because you like summons, though. I don't know, like,
yeah.
Is it the corpses that are the reason you play necromancer, or is it the fact that they're pets?
No, you're right. It's the fact that they're pets. But
I'll name you Fluffy and Timmy. Yeah, I don't know. Zombies for me, I think they had their time, and I think it was just too much of them all at once.
Yeah, they just really oversaturated.
Yep.
But
yeah.
I like the vampire craze way more than I like the zombie craze. I like vampires like a 10 million% more than I like zombies.
I did not. I thought the vampire craze was
yeah.
I got dragged to a Twilight movie. I'm not happy about it still.
Vampires have a personality, which is
like they're like monsters. Like they exist and they like have like they have personalities and like backstories and shit. Yeah. Zombies are like, is zombie? Oh, that's zombie.
I will say the like exceptions are things like the what is it? The Santa Clara or Santa Clarita?
The Santa Clarita diet.
I'd never seen that. So
I watched the first
I thought
season.
she wasn't even like a zombie. I thought she just had to eat.
It's like kind of implied. Like, I don't know if they like outright say zombie, but I mean, like all of the symptoms of it, like decaying body.
I feel like that and like iZombie. Are they really zombies? Are they really though? Like, I don't know if you can say that they're actually zombies. Like,
I guess
people call them zombies, but like, in what sense?
In zombie, if you consider it to be implied like brainlessness, or if it's just dead that still has flesh on them, essentially.
Sure, I guess. Like, if we take like the most abstract version of what a zombie is, if you just like dial it down to is undead, then yeah, I guess. Yeah. But like, even in iZombie, were the zombies really undead? Like,
not really. Yeah. Like, they were more like, that's when if you don't want to have zombies, you can always just do the bailout of like, oh, it's the infected.
Yeah, like it's just I don't know, like they did it. Like, I feel like when the zombies start having personality, they're like something different at that point. Like, I feel like you just can't call them zombies anymore. Like,
yeah,
the infected.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys been watching anything else though. Have you watched the second episode of the new One Punch Man yet?
I have not. No. Is it good?
I think it's fine. I mean, my impression so far of the second season is it really doesn't bug me that much, the change in studio. I think they're doing a decent job of following the story. Yeah, some of the animation stuff is kind of I mean, it's a definite change. Like it's very obvious.
Very shiny.
Yes. And there's parts where it kind of bugs me a little bit, but for the most part, I think it's pretty good. I've been enjoying it. Like, I plan to continue watching it. So
okay, cool beans. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, this arc they're doing is my favorite in the series. So I'm hoping they like pull out all the stops for some of the later fights. But like, we'll see. Well, we'll definitely have to.
Honestly,
see.
That might be what's keeping it going so far. Is just that. Hoping that they get to some of the good stuff, but
show me the one punch. Show me the one punch.
Yeah, there's like a hero killer arc, and that's really good.
Yeah, and
so they're.
I mean, I don't know what. Oh yeah, the hero killer was revealed on the second.
Yeah, they reveal him pretty early.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how his character goes.
Yeah, he goes in some places. I'm excited for that. If nothing else, I just would love to see it animated in any form.
Yeah, but I do enjoy that they're. I don't know. One Punch Man seems to be getting a little more as well, and honestly, the first episode, which had the whole thing with King, was interesting, but just
I do love King.
I hope that King continues to just be who his character is, because that's pretty great.
Because I read this part in the manga and I really liked it.
Yeah. King is great.
Yeah, he seems like a good character, so I'm kind of happy for that stuff.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, the ultimate thing is so I mean, we'll still see, but I'm still in it in the second episode, so.
I'm gonna have to wait until I think maybe once the whole series is out, I might maybe like get a free month of Hulu or something to watch it.
Sure, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, if you do that, watch a few other things like Cloak and Dagger and Runaways.
Oh, I already got a list of I need to watch all of these when I get a free month of Hulu. See, I'm gonna try see if I can marathon Community.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because I still have never actually watched Community.
I mean, the first 3 seasons of Community were pretty good.
Yeah.
Fair. That's fair.
I really liked the first 3 seasons, and then I got bored of it after that. So we have any time for some news this week? There's just two main topics. One is a funny one. One's not. One's more of a discussion point.
Yeah, we can see. We got a couple of minutes still.
Yeah. It'll be pretty quick. Okay, so I guess we can do the funny one first. Okay, so. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the Dead or Alive controversy at all. The new Dead or Alive 5.
I have not.
Okay, so buckle up. Okay, so right. I want you guys to guess how much the DLC in Dead or Alive costs.
Oh, I think I saw something like this. It's like $1,200.
Yeah, it's $1,289.79 for the game and all the DLC.
What?
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, how much does it come with? Like,
like, I mean, it's a Dead or Alive game.
So
yeah,
like,
it comes with, it comes with I think two DLC characters and like an assload of costumes, I think.
Yeah.
For $1,200.
At least they're like dropping the pretense of like, oh, buy a loot box, and maybe they're just like, no, just give us all the money right now.
Jeez.
And you know the worst part is there's somebody who will buy that.
Yup.
I know, but man, like, why though?
Because Dead or Alive has like cute girls.
Sure. So the internet has cute girls too.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get a few more characters than
two.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, you get a fair number of characters, I guess.
Ah, so good.
I mean,
which is, you know, that good old-fashioned day one DLC back again.
Yeah, that's actually kind of really egregious because, like, this game comes out in March, and apparently there are, like, 20 characters you can just buy. What?
Jeez. Like, right from the get-go?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
They cost $4 a piece. The season pass costs $92. This is season pass 1, by the way.
Out of multiple seasons? Oh, goodness.
Yeah, well, they have more planned.
So they've basically picked up on essentially the games as a service thing that BioWare, or I guess more specifically, what is it? Like Ubisoft and EA and stuff really like now.
Yeah, it's like that, except they dialed it up to like 500. Like they're like, oh, $20 for DLC. That's some baby monies for babies.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
It's more so like they had all of this stuff ready to go for the game, and they're like, eh.
Yeah, before the game even came out, it has this much DLC before it even comes out. Like,
yeah,
that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's
it is just called downloadable content. It's not like they used to use the term expansion pack and stuff like that.
Yeah, now it's just like, oh, hey.
But I don't even think you could consider it an expansion pack. It's just characters and some costumes. Like, that's it.
I mean, from what I know of Dead or Alive, is it basically just more eye candy? Is that basically all it is?
Maybe?
It might be.
I don't know. I've never been a huge into the Dead or Alive franchise.
Like,
I just know that there's just excessive how much money like the 5th and the 6th game cost.
Yeah.
Like, are there actual like differences between
like the costumes or the characters?
Well, the characters. I mean, obviously the costumes.
I think the characters. Yeah, I think. I assume. Like, I think a lot of the ones in the DLC pack are like old fan favorites that they're bringing back, but
okay, huh?
It's just, man, like I feel like there's no way to like talk to me and be like, yeah, no, pay $1,000 for this video game, and you get a bunch of costumes and some characters. In your fighting game that is gonna be outdated in like 2 years, and they release a better version.
Yup.
Yeah. So
that's pretty great. The other story, and I guess this is more of like a short discussion piece. I just want to get your opinions on something. Is there's so Sekiro Shadows Die Twice came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It sold like 6 million copies. It sold gangbusters. It's like the highest selling game since Dark Souls 3. But this argument starts coming up. There's this argument comes up every time that happens, is like difficulty in games and whether or not Dark Souls should have like an easier difficulty for people, like for accessibility purposes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see I wanted to get your opinions on like difficulty in games in general, just like
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a ton.
Yeah.
No,
Just quick thoughts, because my personal opinion is that I think developers should do whatever they want. I do think that easier difficulties, if the developer thinks it's something that they want to put in, is something I think that's good. Honestly, like if Miyazaki decided to put like easier difficulty in the next like Souls-like game, I honestly wouldn't complain. I wouldn't use it, but I wouldn't complain, honestly. But if he doesn't, whatevs. I don't think we're entitled to an easier difficulty.
I mean, at the same time, like, it sold well as I think with that kind of thing that goes against my point is, like, my thing would be, yeah, they don't have to put in an easier difficulty.
Yeah.
But then they also, like, if you make a game that's just ball-buster hard, but also, like, can people just stop pretending they're hot shit for beating Sekiro and Dark Souls? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
It's a video game. I don't really...
Yeah, it's a video game. And also, like, yeah, it's... Like, once you get things down, I know Sekiro is way harder than
I've heard it's a lot more difficult. But like, at least from Dark Souls, I've played a lot of Dark Souls and a lot of Bloodborne. Those games are not like they're hard games, but like when you know what you're doing after like a few times, like your first playthrough is going to be hard, and then after that, it's not nearly as bad. Like,
yeah.
I feel like people just like to like put like the whole hardcore shoes on, but like I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with having an easier difficulty. Just because like some people would love to play, they'd love to enjoy the same game you can, but like maybe they don't have time to play as much games as other people, and they just don't have time to get good at games.
I mean,
that's my thing. Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say my opinion on the whole matter is it's for the most part not that difficult to throw in just a checkbox being like, hey, throw this on, like, I want to just have fun and experience the game. I don't want the challenge and all that. And there's a lot of really easy things you can do to make that happen. Like, just, I don't know, give the player, like, 20 times the health, or make them, like...
Yeah, or, like, make them one-hit everything or something, like...
Yeah, and I've seen that in so many games, and so many indie games, even, are doing that now, where they're just trying to make it accessible to as many people as possible. And
like a story mode where you don't have like combat is like a triviality sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Or I mean, even like Assassin's Creed has been sort of doing it with their explorer kind of mode, where it's more of kind of a history lesson at that point, but you get to experience the world, you get to have a lot of fun in it for some people without the whole challenge of the game. And for some people, the challenge of the game is not what's fun. I don't know. Yeah. It seems like to me you're closing off a market by not having that in there. Like there's a lot of people who might pick up the game. Like, heck, I would probably play Dark Souls and type games if they weren't as difficult. I just don't want to spend the time it takes to do trial and error 100 times and learn how to finally beat things in it. It's like, I get it. It's some people's thing, and that's great. And that can be the standard mode of the game, but all you have to do is throw an option in there for people who don't want that. And it seems like, for the most part, it's not a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, that's like my comparison. Just the quick note I have is like, if I go back through and play a game like Mass Effect or Mass Effect 2, like I can play Mass Effect 2 on a higher difficulty, but if I'm going through to replay it, I don't want to just be like, oh, I died over and over and over.
You just want
I just want to live the story beats again. Yeah. And it was the same thing I saw when Cuphead came out. Cuphead, I know I told you this, Trey, and I think it's in like an old podcast episode even. Cuphead was a game that I looked at. I'm like, oh man, that's really cool. I'm not going to waste $20 on it because I won't be good at it, and I don't have the time to sit there and get good.
Exactly.
Same. I beat like 2 bosses, I think, in Cuphead, and I'm like, well, I've had my fill of this game.
It's a shame, but I also respect developers for not like if they think that the difficulty is like integral to the experience of their game. I get it. Like it's
that's the thing. I'm not going to shit talk Cuphead for it. It's just like a game where it's like, I'm not.
Yeah, they lost the potential sale because of the fact that.
And honestly,
but I mean,
I wouldn't care as much for indie games because I understand it does take time. It does take sometimes a lot of work to do that kind of stuff, but for AAA games with the kind of budgets they're putting into those things, like, especially if it'll get them a whole chunk of new sales that they just wouldn't get before, I don't get why they wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the same vein then, too, we can always look at, Nintendo and be like, oh, hey, new Super Mario Brothers Wii U 3DS Deluxe Extra Delicious. Why is it a baby game for babies?
Yeah, I mean Nintendo's been really leading the way on those though. They have a lot of their new games have like a will play itself mode now because they understand that kids play their games. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
kids
but
don't
I mean,
all-
even things like Breath of the Wild and Odyssey, you can challenge yourself if you want.
yeah, you can make it more difficult if that's what you want, which is nice.
And I've seen
we're coming up
Yeah.
on an hour though, so I will I'll cut it short. But yeah, thanks for that, guys. That was good.
Yeah.
But
Basically, be easier, Cuphead. I want to
Yeah.
play you.
Yo,
basically, if you don't make me an easy mode, fucking From Software, I will find you. I'll find you. I'll find you, and
yeah.
I will make me Dark Souls 4. Anyway,
Yeah, we're
see you
all
guys.
filthy casuals. Anyway, see you, Dumpster Goblins.
Bye.